Think when you drink. Did you know that 1 in 3 of us will be involved in an alcohol-related crash in our lifetime? About every 30 seconds, there's an alcohol-related accident. Fortunately, the problems surrounding alcohol-related accidents are solvable. First, let's address the problems. Every single injury and death caused by drunk driving is totally preventable. The relative risk of death for drivers in single vehicle crashes with a high blood alcohol content is 385 times that of a zero blood alcohol content driver. And for male drivers, the risk is 707 times that of a sober driver, according to estimates by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Most drivers who have had something to drink have low blood alcohol content or concentration, and few are involved in fatal crashes. On the other hand, while only a few drivers have blood alcohol content higher than 0.15, a much higher proportion of those drivers have fatal crashes. Unfortunately, in spite of great progress, alcohol-impaired driving remains a serious national problem that tragically affects many victims annually. Alcohol involvement is the single greatest factor in most vehicle deaths and injuries. Only 4% of all crashes involve the use of alcohol, but 41% of fatal crashes do. The impact of drunk driving is huge. Here are some statistics from Mothers Against Drunk Driving and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Alcohol-related crashes are deadlier and more serious than other crashes. In 2004, 16,694 people were killed in alcohol-related crashes. That's about an average of 2 people every hour. These alcohol-related crash victims make up about 39% of 42,636 total traffic deaths. Drunk driving is our most frequently committed violent crime. More Americans have died in alcohol-related crashes than in all wars we have fought since 1776. The role alcohol plays in our nation's automobile crash cost is tremendous. 26% of automobile crash costs in the U.S. involve alcohol. The price tag to the public was approximately $114.3 billion in 2000. Drunk driving, like most other social problems, resists simple solutions. However, there are a number of actions each of us can take to contribute toward a reduction of the problem. Every single injury and death is completely preventable. Here's some things that you can do. Be a responsible host. Serve food and have non-alcoholic drinks available. Don't let your guests drive after drinking alcohol, and never serve alcohol to someone under the age of 21. Speak out, expressing your concern over drunk driving and underage drinking in your community. Never ride in a car with someone who has been drinking. Call a cab or ask a friend to drive you home. Report drunk drivers immediately to area law enforcement from a car phone or pay phone with the license plate number, description of the vehicle, and the direction in which it was traveling. Keep a safe distance from anyone driving erratically, and do not try to intervene yourself. Reduce the national problem. Here's some things that are effectively being done to reduce the national problem. DWI courts, sometimes called DUI courts, sobriety courts, wellness courts, or accountability courts, have proven effective in reducing the crime of drunk driving. Such courts address the problems of hardcore repeat offenders by treating alcohol addiction or alcoholism. The recidivism or failure rate of DWI courts is very low. Automatic license revocation appears to be the single most effective measure to reduce drunk driving. Automatic license revocation, along with a mandatory jail sentence, appears to be even more effective than just automatic license revocation. Impounding or confiscating license plates. Mandating the installation of interlock devices that prevent intoxicated persons from starting a vehicle. Vehicle impoundment or immobilization. Expanding alcohol server training programs. Implementing social norm programs that correct the misperception that most people sometimes drive under the influence of alcohol. Furthermore, passing mandatory alcohol and drug testing and fatal crashes would promote successful prosecution of drunk and drug drivers. We must do better. Remember, don't ever drive if you or anyone else thinks that you may have had too much to drink. And don't let anyone else, that includes reporting drivers who may be drunk, it's always safest not to drink and drive. By thinking before you drink, you stay safe, you stay out of jail, the ones you love stay safe and stay out of jail. It saves time, money, and lives. If you choose not to think before you drink, you could lose your life, your license, your livelihood, your family, your friends. Even if no one is physically injured at a minimum, you end up in jail, you have to be bailed out, you incur court costs, you incur attorney fees, you lose your license, you may do jail time, your license rates go up. The average DUI costs between $5,000 and $20,000 for a first-time DUI conviction. With injuries, you and or others involved could die or suffer lifelong injuries. Either way, it's not only those in the accident that suffer, it's also the family members. 33% of us could easily be impacted by the seriousness of drunk driving. Yet this is completely preventable. So think when you drink. Start today by taking responsibility for yourself. Be more vigilant. Think before you drink. Be a responsible citizen. Have a just say no policy. Take responsibility for your friends too. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. If one of your friends has been drinking and should not drive, please don't let them. They could hurt themselves or others, and maybe just a little persuasion from you could mean the difference between life and death. Suggest that you or a sober friend drive your alcohol-impaired friend home. His or her car can always be picked up at another time. Suggest that your impaired friend stay overnight in your home. This may sound inconvenient, but you could be saving your friend's or someone else's life. Have your friend taken home in a taxi. Pay for the ride yourself. It's hard to object to a free ride. Safe ride's another alternative. Whatever you do, don't give in. Friends don't let friends drink and then drive. In the morning, you'll have a safer and maybe an even closer friend. Think when you drink.